Welcome back to JU88, and I'm gonna make a little bit of a tutorial video here from the JU88 because this is actually a very easy plane to fly, and I have been making some kind of tutorials about JU88 earlier on how to set it up on running and so on, but never really a full tutorial on everything like gyro and everything. So I'm gonna try to do a tutorial here. Unfortunately, there's lots of mapping on different setups on this plane as in every other game too, and because of that some of the mappings I cannot explain. You just have to find the mappings yourself. But I'm gonna try to explain as far as I can. I'm gonna show you level bombing and also some dive bombing. Okay, first of all, let's start this thing. Junkers has to have magnetos on. I have mapped them on my right alt plus M. Takes both magnetos on. Then you have to have fuel cocks on. Fuel cocks are in very difficult position here on Junkers, so I have you just have to map them. You can't fly this thing if you haven't have fuel cocks mapped. But you can find them under the plane controls as pretty much every other plane control, and from options, and it's fuel cock. That's the toggle fuel cock 1, toggle fuel cock 2, and I have it on I'm not sure if this is default or not because my friend made these mappings, so I'm not sure what he has mapped and what's default, but I have them on left control 1, fuel cock 1, and left control 2, fuel cock 2. And I have 1 and 2 on the left side fuel tank. I don't really understand how this works. There's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, but there's no indication on what tanks they actually are, if they're left, right, wing, and so on. But I'm currently using, I believe that I'm using left wing tank, although there's only left and right and both, so that's a weird thing too. Maybe the bombers have only wing tanks, so maybe I'll just use both engines to take from both tanks. Oh no, some lagging. People are making junkers here and trying to go flying with me. There's a bit of a traffic here, so that's probably why the lag. Or then again, it might be that my computer started to make some fucking annoying shit on its own. Anyways, damn it, this is not gonna work with this lag. Come on, wake up. A little bit better, still lagging. Okay, after setting magnetos and fuel cocks, it's really just ignition. Also, you have to have mapped the radiators to somewhere. I have both open oil and the the water radiator. So I'm just gonna deselect engine number 2. You have to map that too, of course, and then I'm gonna press ignition. Number 1 is starting. Oh yeah, there's lots and lots of players here. Then I'm gonna deselect number 1 and select number 2 and ignition. And here we go. And I need to take the and at this point remember to select number 1 again, because it's deselected. So every control that you are going to make on engines is going to evidently just control 1 engine instead of 2 if you have only 1 engine selected. Then we're going to take some... Oh, that 110 is going to come right into my way here. Damn, this lags. This lags a lot. I'm flying on ATEX server, and this was probably not the best time to start making tutorial, but I'm still nevertheless going to go here. The BF 110 is going to take a long route over there on the end of the tarmac. I'm gonna go through here. Hopefully it's not planning on getting up through that shorter runway. Now there's one junkers getting up pretty good. Yeah, he's going through that shorter runway. I'm not sure if that is wise. I don't think he's gonna make it. I have actually a shorter way over there, so I'm gonna go there. I'm not gonna go on that end. Anyways, we can discuss something else here. It's actually nice that people are flying these junkers and shit from here, not only just fighters. It's nice to see that someone's flying other stuff. Hopefully there's no one coming against me on this runway. Someone is following me at the moment though. He tried to lift off from here. Okay, he has some things to learn. Okay, so prepare for liftoff. First of all, you need to have about 20 degrees of flaps. And I have been earlier using, there's no indicator on flaps. You can try to see how much you have flaps on Junkers 88 by using different view angles, like the upper gunner here, who doesn't see equally well, and the lower gunner kind of doesn't either see well. So there's really no way to see how much you have the flaps, so only thing you can do is actually count the flaps. And I have tested it, and about 20 degrees of flaps you have to count on 5. It actually comes down very quickly. Messerschmitt has 109 has a very slow flaps compared to Junkers 88. I have been using the count to 15, which has almost given me all the flaps that I have, and count to 5 will give a much better lift and less brakes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's it on neutral again. Then of course you have to you can this is actually a matter of opinion if you want to skid your lock your tail wheel or not, but I prefer to lock it on. Then you have to have mapped the afterburner, which I have mapped. Just full throttle, brakes off, afterburner on, and try to control your plane. I'm gonna trim a little bit to the right as a lift off trim or take off trim, however you want to say it. I'm gonna try to lift the tail right away early on, and I got it lifted so I can get lots and lots of speed early, and then just casually start to pull the stick back. Do not push forward because you're gonna go on your nose, and as soon as you're in the air, undercarries up and start to drop the propeller pitch into halfway down, and then flaps up, and don't lift hard. I have 2 degrees of lift now, and my speed is 200, which is just about little too slow. I'm gonna try to dive a little bit or level flight so that I can have more speed. Now 250, which is pretty good, and I can start lifting again. Okay, and now I have almost 250 speed. There's another Junkers that didn't make it on the lift. I don't have enough speed yet, so I'm gonna drop it a little bit. I'm gonna take afterburner off because it really doesn't help me anymore. Only where that it helps is when you're speeding on the runway. And I'm gonna take compass heading to northwest. I'm not sure where the other Junkers are and if they are willing to fly on formation, but nevertheless I'm gonna take, actually let's take heading almost straight to north, and I'm gonna set the target to I-12 near Ramsgate and Manston airfields. There's a radar station there, so I'm gonna try to target that. There's still weird shit on my speed. 250 is way too low, and I'm just about on level flight. Actually, I'm rising all the time. Sorry, that's a mistake. Your main gauge to look while flying this plane is of course artificial horizon, but more even so the speedometer the maximum speed of this plane on level flight that I have gotten on it is just little over 300. If you got enough energy after dive, you can fly on level flight at 350 even, and sometimes it does take something like 350. 250 is enough for climbing. You can climb pretty securely with 250. And just when I get this plane running smoothly, I will tell you about the gyro. 300 almost. I'm gonna drop my throttle to the halfway. You can check from the right down corner there. The P is my propeller's pitch. It's on halfway down. That's usually my flying pitch, and I have both of the radiators open, which is pretty good on water temperature and a little bit low on, well, actually it's pretty good on oil temperature. I'm not really sure what the real reading should be, but I'm content with 50 to 60 degrees. Yeah, that's pretty good. And whoa, I had rudder on left, and when I released it, it suddenly made a move on me. Okay, I have altitude now 0.900. I usually fly at altitudes a little bit over 1 kilometer. That's my traveling altitude with this plane. And 270 speed. I'm a little bit rising still, which is nice. I'm gonna level it a bit. At the moment I'm just flying with trim, so the trim is very important here. You have to map your trim well, because these bombers, they are flown with trim, and the reason that I dropped the throttle over here on the halfway is that you have to watch your engine manifold pressure, and you can see there's a red line there. If you constantly cross that or fly close to it, somewhere along 1.3 here or over, it's gonna heat the engine up. So it should always stay in the halfway of the yellow and red lines here. That should be the best way to go there. Okay, now there's an autopilot in this plane. Again, lagging. And I'm gonna try to teach you how to use the autopilot. Autopilot's main gauges, the main things that you have to look is this one. This is the directional gyro, and this is the repeater compass. And gyro, there's a compass on gyro, but it's not very accurate. Like you can see, I have a heading towards north and it's showing me west. So what you have to do is you have to map the following controls. You have to map the directional gyro controls, decrease and increase, and also you have to map the gyro itself, course yeah, toggle course or something like that. The course is set as just simply A, because that's where you put the A autopilot on. That's the autopilot control, the directional course control. And decrease and increase, I have it on right control plus up and down arrow. And as you can see, the gyro is now turning, and I have to get north over there, just a little bit to the west side of the north, actually I want to go. And then I have the course setter or something like that mapped, and that's where you change the lower wheel over there. And what you do is you have to set the directional gyro to the direction that you are currently flying. I'm gonna turn a little bit. Yeah, you actually have to better look from here, because this is not accurate either. I'm gonna turn a little bit to the north. I mean west side, as my directional gyro is, or my direction is turned. And once they are on the same, the course setter and the directional gyro are on the same level, just auto on, and after that I'm hands-free flying with autopilot. You can see the autopilot light over there, and I can actually turn the plane from the course setter, so I don't have to touch the stick at all. I can't change my altitude. I can't change my level of altitude. I can only change the direction I'm flying. But I can change the direction just by changing the directional setter like this, and the plane turns along the gyro. And the best thing about this is when you go to the bomber location, because you can now look through the loft aiming device and set your sight, and let's say that brown field on the right is the target. I can turn my plane with the course setter, and when it's on, boom. That's the reason why I need the gyro. It needs a little practice to actually hit on the target, but it is possible. And at Henkel 111 there's a gyro that works exactly like this. Also BF 110 has a gyro that works exactly like this. So you have an autopilot on Henkel 111 and also on BF 110, just like in this JU88. That's it. I'm just enjoying the view here. Oh no, clouds. I hate fucking clouds. I'm gonna put pilot heater on, and I'm gonna close my radiators and take the autopilot off and fly manually, because I don't trust the autopilot. Also gonna increase the propeller pitch. I need to get more air. I need to fly higher above the clouds too. And if you want to practice the autopilot and bombing, I suggest you take single player and free flight modes from there. Just remember to load your bomber with bombs and then just go ahead and bomb the shit out of some poor farmer's farm or something like that. Almost 2 kilometers altitude soon and still not above the clouds. I hate the fucking clouds in this game. How's my temperature? 67. It hasn't actually risen that much with the flaps closed, probably because we're so high. I'm gonna drop the propeller pitch a little bit so I can get some more draft on the engines, draft on the propellers. It grabs the air better. And now some icing motherfucking cloud. I have actually a too low manifold pressure. I'm gonna add up some throttle. Still close to you. Oh fuck, I'm diving. Come on, ice, melt down already. I can't even. Very little speed at the moment. Not in that cloud, please. Come on. Fuck, I hate this shit. One cloud actually caused me to fall from the sky. That's why I hate these fucking things so much. Come on, get up there above the cloud. I'm just trying to keep the engines warm so that the icing won't cause me to fall from the sky. Although, even though I have the heater on, I have still very cold oil temperatures. I have turned a lot. I'm gonna try to turn back again. My manifold pressure is very low, which is weird. Should I use the supercharger already? Okay, anyways, next to the bombing, there's a very large amount of bombing options that you have on the JU88. Many of the planes don't carry anywhere near as much bomb load as JU88. So the 88 is actually the biggest danger that the Allies have on bombers. It has a huge load of the bombs on board, and you can select different slots. There's actually 3 slots you can select, and you can bomb individual slots alone, or you can select all. I usually use the default settings, so I don't really set that at all. But there's also bomb mode, and there's serious and salvo. What it means is that salvo basically drops everything at the same time. So there's a huge amount of bombs dropping at the same time, but there's a problem there. Once you have dropped all your bombs, there's really no second chance on bombing. So I prefer to use the serious method. The engine heat is still pretty good. Also, there is a serious, and then you can once you have selected the serious, not the salvo but the serious, you can select the serious length. This means how many bombs the serious will drop, and the serious means that every bomb will drop individually, and then you can set the serious delay. And I have it on 14 meters and 8 bombs, because on the first slot there's 16 bombs, and when selected 8 bombs you can roughly drop 3 times, make 3 bombing excuse me, that was wrong. You can roughly make 4 bomb runs on the target. Okay, what's my heading? I need to set the autopilot on now. I can't make it out. 338. So it's pretty much the same as before. And I'm gonna change to loft and see if I can see the target already. I can't even figure out where the fuck I am at the moment. Zero, 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 zero. Fuck me. Yeah, I think I know where I am. The radar station is probably still a little bit. It's probably between the airfields. There's two airfields. The over here. Am I going already over it? No, that's perfect. We are flying from here, this direction, between the Ramsgate and Manston airfields. Still need to turn a bit. It's gonna return a little bit once it straightens the plane out. And the radio station should be somewhere here after the airfields. Let's set the speed and shit, 290. So you have to set the speed to the bombing computer. There's actually sort of a computer, and then the altitude, which is 2.3. And I'm gonna make it through 350. Fuck, I can't see the fucking station. I thought that I could see it through Lofty already. It should be there on the coast, but I can't see it. Damn it! I'm gonna try to bomb the Manston airfield. So I'm gonna turn a little bit over so that once it returns I can have the sight on the right spot. Oh, and then of course open the bomb doors, muster arm on. I'm just gonna bomb the middle of the airfield. This is the level bombing practice here. Should be open, space on, and it automatically bombs the target. You should also take notice of the wind and set the sideways of the sight with wind correction. And the bombing has happened. We can try to check how the bombs drop. No, it's... What the fuck? It just dropped the bombs now. It should have dropped them already, long ago. That was weird. It should have not done that. The bombs should have left already once the automation has stopped. There's no bombing no more. There should be no bombing no more. And yet it was still bombing. Those bombs they went to the ocean probably. Let's see if we can see the bombs to explode. They went to the ocean. No way they hit to the airfield. Well, I can't see them hitting anywhere. That went poorly wrong. Anyways, let's take the autopilot off and go to the... That's the way that you should do the level bombing. I'm not sure why it didn't work. Maybe I did something wrong there or not. I'm not sure. I don't really trust level bombing, and I think that the Junkers is way better plane used in the low level bombing. So that's what I usually do. And well, let's just basically take it down to the lower level. Throttle almost all the way down. A little bit diving. We have air brakes too, but I don't see no use using them. 400 is a speed that this baby can easily take. Fighters, okay, that sets us in a very, very dire position. Opening bomb doors. I'm gonna strike the same field again. Testing that my bombs are armed. Yes, they are. Oh fuck! And I'm being shot. My engine's gone. No, it's not. Actually. Why are my... Okay, my men are dead already. I'm the only one left here. Let's change the bomb series. No, that's wrong. Panicking? Nah. Let's bomb fucking everything. On there. Let's try to trim. Direct it. Yes, I can direct it with trim. Afterburners on, more power. Yeah. Bombs away. Fuck you, British fucking assholes. I'm bombing you anyway. Ah, shit. Okay, my engines are gone. I'm going down. Oh, jump, you fucker! Fuck. I still bombed the living hell out of you fuckers. Yeah. So, that's that. Some Junkers tutorial. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see a landing. that's the situation, more or less the normal situation on most of the flights. But I'm glad I have had the opportunity to give those guys an opportunity to shoot down a Junkers. Okay, see you later on another video. Hopefully this tutorial was somewhat helpful, although the bombing didn't work for some reason, and it bothers me that it didn't. I really have to check take tests and try to see why it didn't work. Thanks for watching.